Yo, 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 it's Monday, and that means it's time for Monday Night Raw review. It's your boy Clumsy Uno, and let's get into it. We have our we have our first contestants for King and Queen of the Rings. We got Lyra, so it's either gonna be Lyra Valkyria. She actually won tonight. I'm surprised. Shook me. Probably shook everyone else. Everyone thought it was gonna be Io. I swear everyone thought it was gonna be Io. So we're gonna have Lyra either versus Bianca or Nia Jax. But sign me up for a Lyra versus Bianca match. That sounds fun. Um, and then we got Gunther winning by tapping out Jey Uso. Man. So we're gonna possibly get Gunther versus Randy Orton, or Gunther versus we could either get Gunther versus Randy Orton or Gunther versus Tama Tonga. Now, if I could get a Gunther versus Randy Orton match, oh man, so Gunther versus Randy Orton and Lyra versus Bianca. That's my thing. I'm not really too excited to see a Lyra versus Nia Jax match, but man, I mean, Bron was killing everybody tonight. It was a pretty alright week. So first off, we had Sami Zayn come out and cut a promo talking about how the mind, body, and soul is going to be in this Intercontinental title match. How Chad Gable's the mind, Bronson Reed is the body, and Sami Zayn is the soul. And Chad comes out and cuts a dope little promo and says he's going to take his soul. Chad Gable's going to take Sami Zayn's soul. So and then Chad Gable and Sami Zayn then have a match. At first, Tozawa and Maxine don't help Gable. Gable gets mad and sends him to the back. But then Otis they have a moment, and Otis ends up helping Chad Gable get the dub over Sami Zayn. That's crazy, to be honest. Like, oh man. So it was kind of a few upsets I didn't see coming. But then after that, we had Braun Breaker come out to kill KO Dixon. I mean, he demolished this dude. Like, first off, I didn't know who KO Dixon was. So when I've seen Braun Breaker come out, they talk about KO Dixon, I was like, oh, this man's getting killed. So I could just hear like Jim Ross halfway during the match, stop the damn match! Stop the I probably don't have a good impression, but he ends up sending Bro to the hospital, and yeah, they weren't too happy with him. So yeah, Braun Breaker just keeps going on. Now next up, we had the Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky match, and this was a good match. But Lyra ended up winning, and it was like a flash pin, I believe. So that protected Io a little bit, but I was not expecting to see Lyra Valkyria win and go to the semifinals. Now she's gonna go fight for Queen of... Dude, they're pushing her. I mean, she has the crowd behind her every week, it feels like. And yeah, they're pushing her straight to the moon, man. She's... Yeah. So after that, we get to the back, and Ilya Dragunov is talking to Ricochet, and Braun Breaker just spears the shit out of Ricochet, kills this man. Like, Braun Breaker was out to kill people tonight. My goodness, man. And then we got a segment where Bronson was talking to Sami Zayn about their match and stuff, and then Otis comes up and he apologizes for what he did earlier. And Sami Zayn's like, pretty much, don't listen to Chad Gable, listen to the crowd out there, you know, cheering for you and loving you. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, we get Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan promo, a little segment. Becky comes out, cuts a promo, cuts a little something, and then Liv comes out, and I feel like the build is like iffy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if Rhea didn't get hurt, Becky obviously wouldn't have the title, but I don't know. This build is iffy, but for some reason I think Liv's gonna win. I think just something's gonna happen there, and yeah, I don't know why I see Liv winning, but yeah, this build was whatever. Liv took some pretty good shots. I mean, Becky just did the whole like, started from the bottom, now we here type promo, and yeah, so I just, you know, it's whatever. I'm thinking Liv's gonna win on Saturday, and we're gonna have a new women's world championship, women world champion. And then cut to the back again. Gable was talking to the Creed brothers. What I said last week. I said a dope stable with him and the Creed brothers would be pretty dope. And as they walk away, Gable says, "Hey, remember what we talked about?" As they're walking away. So I was right there when he said that. I was like, "Ooh, keep that in mind, y'all. Keep that in mind. He's gonna come back to that, because you never know. I mean, we get a dope story out of this Otis and Gable situation, but I don't know. This triple threat this weekend. What if Gable wins, and his first challenger is Otis? Like, that would be crazy. That's just my wild theory. But and then as they walk away, as they're walking away, because Otis walks up and he told Gable that he apologized to Sammy, and Gable's seen it as like, oh, like you're trying to get into his head. See, the whole mind thing is popping up. You're trying to get into his head, and Otis is like, yeah. And Gable's like, so you are gonna help me win, right? Otis is like, yep. So I don't know. Maybe I mean, we're definitely gonna get something. Some type of shenanigans are gonna happen. Either that's gonna progress and Otis turns heel, and Gable builds a new stable, or he doesn't, and we get a Gable versus Otis match. But if Gable loses, I don't know. I feel like he has to win. I feel like a part of me just has to win that Intercontinental Championship. I mean, Sami Zayn, Saudi loves Sammy, so I don't see him losing. But also, I don't know. I want to see Gable with that championship at some point, because he's like the modern day Kurt Angle. And then next up, we got a four-way female tag match. A four-way female tag match for the #1 contender spot to face Bianca and Jade Cargill. So we had Maxine and Ivy Now partnered up. We had Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Katana Chance. I think I'm saying that right. We had Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane. And then we had Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Now, I don't know. There's something that Zoe Stark, she's always had that intensity to me that, I mean, she hasn't shown it yet, but I know she has, like, I want her to see that, I want to see that intensity out of her, that, like, her and Shayna can, like, be, like, another force to be reckoned with, like, the B team of, like, the powerhouses in the women's division, you know? But, yeah, as this match progressed, Maxine actually had some good moments. I'm like, okay, I think she's taking the time to get better, honestly. So, I mean, seeing her do her little things, I mean, she's definitely not there yet, but she's getting better, and she's getting more consistent, and getting more, like, you can tell she's getting a little more comfortable, and that's what's cool to see, is that you could tell she's getting more comfortable, and it's just like watching a baby crawl and, like, start to, like, try to take their first steps, you know, like, but Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark ended up winning. So we're gonna get Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and that'll be their first, like, big defense. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Bianca winning. I mean, with Bianca in this Queen of the Ring. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to seeing a Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria match. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to give Nia Jax the out or the in. I don't know. Not too interested in seeing that. Then next up, we got Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day for the tag titles, and by Judgment Day I mean Finn Balor and JD McDonough. But you know, it had the usual spots with Awesome Truth, which I thought was pretty cool, because you know, we always see R-Truth give tribute to John Cena, but to see The Miz do it too, like, I was like, oh man, like, you know, like it just hit home somewhere. I don't know where, and I don't know why, but it hit, you know. And so yeah, they had the whole thing. Carlito ended up helping the Judgment Day. He got a little hit in. And then as Carlito's trying to help, Braun Strowman comes out, because last week Judgment Day told Braun Strowman not to get in their way. So yeah, Braun Strowman comes out, does the whole chase JD McDonough around the whole ring until McDonough gets back in the ring and runs right into a FU attitude adjustment. and gets pinned 1, 2, 3, and Awesome Truth retain the tag titles. But I thought that was funny. That's always a little funny spot, seeing the big man chase the dummy around the ring, you know. And then last, the main event was Gunther, the Ring General, versus Jey Uso. And before the match started, they had the whole thing where they've been like walking out with one of the wrestlers. But I think that's actually the babyface more. But it's like it follows him out, and he walked out. They hit his music, and man, that place was lit up. I don't know if they tell them to like light up their phones or something, but that place was lit up. It's like I said, every rapper's dream to see that many lights in a stadium like that. So I was happy to see that. He's super over. But the match was pretty alright. The match was actually pretty alright. And I didn't know if they were gonna go with the whole like Tama Tonga versus Jey, and then Jimmy comes back and just progress that story. Maybe they're not ready yet. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. And with the finish, I was not expecting Jey to like. Well, technically he didn't tap out, but he passed out. And that referee lifted his arm, and I was like, "Oh, he's done." He fell straight to the mat. I was like, "That's it. That's it." So now we're getting potentially Gunther versus Randy Orton, or Gunther versus Tama Tonga, and I hope it's not Tama Tonga. Like, I hope some shenanigans maybe happen in that match, and yeah, but I'm not really looking forward to seeing Gunther and Tama Tonga go at it. I'd rather much see Randy Orton. I mean, I thought a Randy Orton and Jey Uso match would have been pretty cool too. Like, it would have been alright. Maybe not a PLE match, but I was, not bad. I was anything but Jey and Tama, I think. If they really wanted to, they could have for like story purposes, but I didn't see no reason to. But overall, it was a pretty alright night of Raw. I think out of 10, I would give it a 7.58. But I liked it. They gave a lot of time to Chad Gable, and yeah, Lyra Valkyria winning was just so unexpected. Bron Breakkers just going on a killing spree, killing everybody, and yeah, so a pretty alright night. If you're still here watching, I just want to say thank you. I got a lot of things coming up. I'm still dropping shorts and videos and trying to do these reviews when I can. And I just hope you guys are patient enough to stick with me and we could build together. So if you're still here, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. If I'm doing good, if I'm doing bad. And yeah, let's build together, guys. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day whenever you watch this. And I hope King and Queen of the Ring this weekend is a dope PLE. And yeah, we can keep going with the string of good events, string of good TV and stuff. So thank you, love y'all, enjoy the rest of this gameplay.